All right, Dominic, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I am a big nobody trying to be somebody. Aren't we all? Yeah, aren't we all? That's right. I just had a really couple of questions I wanted to talk to you about. I want to keep it about 10 minutes. I know that you're busy.
Absolutely.
I love the place. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
I can't believe how nice it is. I had no idea. Like it was going to be this nice. Like I was expecting it to roll in and there was going to be literal barrels to sit on and a spittoon in the corner, you know. But first, I'm kind of curious as to how'd you come up with the name Noble Funk? I think that's interesting.
So Noble Funk, it was originally something that my husband was discussing with a friend of his about doing fermentation concepts and things like that to use for. And then we kind of presented it to the family because we felt that it was a good blend of kind of nodding towards tradition with the noble side, referencing noble hops and things like that from the German tradition of brewing, and then also just having the funk in there to do something fun and innovative and creative, and having a little blend of the two of them. My husband's heritage is part German. He's half Chinese and half European mix. So that was kind of
he's a mutt like the rest of us.
Yeah, he's a mutt like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So that was a cool little tidbit. But yeah, we thought it would be a fun little combination of words. And you know, in breweries, it's kind of like there's so many out there. To find a new name that everyone agrees to is a challenge. But we thought this would be a little fun and different for Louisville. So
it is interesting. I like your noble mission. I think on the website it says something like great times, great beers, great stories. I think that's it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's a great and that catches the eye. That's a great, like, a noble mission. We have a noble mission. I mean, it sounds like you're saving the you're saving the baby from a fire.
Not quite that noble.
It's not quite that noble, but it's got a good start to it, right?
Sure. Get your attention.
Okay, this is what else I found interesting when checking you guys out. I noticed that your husband, Johnathan, he holds a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering from Purdue.
He does.
How did that translate into crafting beer?
Well, engineering is, it's kind of like I have a degree in journalism, it's a degree in communication. Engineering, I think, is a degree in a lot of ways in problem solving and different ways to approach putting things together. So that definitely helps. It's not doing anything in the biomedical field here, but you do have definitely a chemical aspect with yeast and all of the components that go into crafting the flavor of beer and all of the technicalities behind it, which is definitely an engineering background helps with that. And then also the mechanical side of it, which is the tanks, there's a lot of infrastructure back there, that's a lot of moving parts and the installation of all that and how it works together and troubleshooting different aspects of it and working with the system to ensure that you get the best product possible out of that, which is always a learning experience, definitely, is something that engineering is very helpful with. John was never really into research, and I think going into starting out in biomedical engineering, you're doing a lot of various research side, and he's much more of a doer and get a product out type of person. So he likes to be creating something tangible. Yeah. And I think
he's more of a, it's like the there's those the talkers, and then there's the doers.
Yes.
There's the people that do a lot of talking.
Right.
But there's don't necessarily get a lot done, but they do a lot of talking. And he's a doer. He's a getting.
Definitely, and he's definitely a big ideas guy too. But he likes to be working on something and making something that people can consume.
He's a hands-on kind of guy.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but he's kind of like that person, kind of like somebody builds model airplanes. That some of it is the actual work and building of it, but it's also when the finished product.
Right.
Like, look at my model airplane.
It's nice to be able to share something with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's excellent. I really just got a couple of things. Obviously, feel free to pontificate about anything you want.
Sure.
Upcoming events, new menus, new beers, whatever. But I wanted to ask, I know this kind of blends into the first question about the name, but kind of what got you started? What did the idea come up with to even start this place?
So John had been brewing professionally in South Florida for several years. We had been living down there, and then we decided to move back. Louisville's our hometown, so we knew that we wanted to come back here when we wanted to start a family and be around our family and things like that. So we started looking for a place to put a brewery because that was the dream. And he knew, everybody's like, when did this start? And he's always like 10, 12 years ago. Coming out of college and really starting to travel, we went to Belgium with his family and stuff like that, and really started exploring different beer festivals and doing things like that. And that turned to home brewing, and home brewing turned to going to brewing school in Chicago. So he did get a degree in brewing in
I did see that, yeah.
So out of Chicago. So there was definitely a path. And then at that point, he wanted to get some hands-on experience, and he started applying to different breweries around the country. And I was sick of living in the cold of Chicago, so we ended up in South Florida, which is the polar opposite of that.
Right.
And then, so coming back here, we started looking for a property where we could put a brewery. My mom's business, Domino Partners, is a commercial real estate company, and she had some property in this neighborhood for quite some time. And we were looking at a property that was over on 3rd Street that was much smaller, and we were going to turn it into, a much smaller version of this, essentially, and possibly have some sort of like food truck or like a permanent food truck or something outside, an Airstream or something like that to do food on premises. But we started doing we got pretty far along in the process of architectural work in that building, and discovered that we were having that it had some major foundational issues that made it not viable in terms of the investment that it would require in order to do something like this. So we started looking around. We approached Spalding about this property, not really thinking that we could convince their board to let go of this huge piece of real estate in the middle of their campus. But we kind of approached them with the concept of doing something that was not just a brewery and a bar, but also had a food component and provided a community venue for their community, their staff and students, and also greater Louisville, Old Louisville kind of area. So places where they could hold events, we could do things for different nonprofits, where people could come and hang out, their students could come and work, we can host different forums or meetings of that kind of nature, and also provide them with food and beverage, which it's a nice thing around here because there's definitely a few places where you can get food and beverage, but it's not a huge area of foot traffic on the food and beverage side. So it was a good, it's nice to have something where people can come and grab something.
So I guess you guys get a lot of traffic from the students, I'm assuming.
Yes, absolutely. And we've got a lot of different Spalding groups coming through. Their athletic director is retiring, so they're doing a party here tomorrow. We've had their MFA students did a big dinner here. We get a lot of little Spalding things. We did a little graduation luncheon for them. So we're really excited to serve that community. They were fantastic in the whole process of getting this turned around and going through that thing in the timeline that we had. So we love working with them.
Excellent. I guess I would be curious, and I don't even know if there is such a thing, and you kind of talked about it earlier, if you could expound on it maybe some, but does your husband that you know of, does he have like a beer philosophy? I know you had said something about where the name come from. Is that where it comes from? Like the beer philosophy of the place. Where are we going?
So the tagline of the brewery is that there's a time and place for every beer, and I guess that's pretty much sums up his philosophy, which is that we wanted to provide a pretty wide variety of styles. We want to appeal to different tastes of folks. So a lot of people come in, they just want something really easy to drink. A hot day, just want a gold ale.
American.
I want what's similar to a Budweiser. I absolutely want those people here, and we want them to try our beer. So we're doing lots of light, easy drinking stuff. We want to do some fun stuff too. We definitely, the craft beer folks are interested in different IPAs, different darker beers, maltier things, stouts, sours, all that kind of stuff. So we really want to expand upon our different flavor profiles. But I think the consistent thing that we want to do with all of this is just to provide a consistently high quality product at a good value. It's not unapproachable price point, and it tastes good. It's easy to drink. There's there's no reason why you shouldn't have more than one. I guess that's what his philosophy.
Right.
So, yeah.
No reason to have more than more than one. I like that. I like that a lot. Excellent. And I know you guys are early into this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. Maybe you've got some future plans that are several steps down the road, because you just opened in January.
We did.
Yeah. But do you have any future plans? I mean, this place is so big, you could almost put, I don't know, you could put a tea room over here and have yoga over there.
Yeah, no. So we definitely are looking. We've had a decent amount of events so far, and we're really excited to expand our event portfolio and do different types of things. We've had workout groups. We've had some live music in here. We've done trivia in here. We've done things like birthday parties and private parties, networking things for professional groups, all those sorts of things we love doing, and we want to work more on creating spaces where those things can work the best. And then just in general, I mean, right now we're just working on getting ourselves stable with a good line of products on the beer side, and getting our pizza out there, and getting people to know who we are and what we're doing at the moment. I'm sure my husband has a lot of ideas for how things could expand down the road, and where we could grow to. But at the moment, we're just focusing on doing what we're doing to the best of our ability, and really building up our staff and enjoying the moment a little bit. This being on
Well,
this
it looks
journey.
fantastic down here. I think you guys are going to do really well. What upcoming events do you have?
Well, I know that, we have a rock band scheduled. I believe it's July 9th. It's the Saturday after the 4th. If I'm doing my math, it's the 8th or 9th. So we have something on that evening. We're looking at possibly doing something with the soccer league in July. I don't think that's come out yet, but I've spoken to someone today, and I think we're getting there. So that'll be announced soon. And then we just have a lot of small parties and things like that coming up. We'll definitely be updating our social media feeds. So if anybody wants to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, that's really the best way to get new information on us on a weekly basis. We'll definitely be doing more live music and things like that. We do have an event coming up with our neighbor Wellspring. I believe it's July 28th. Where they're going to do a little open house on mental health awareness, which they're doing a lot of great work in this community. So we're really excited to have a partner with them on this event. And we'll also have a blues duo on site doing a little live entertainment on that day as well. So if folks want to stop by kind of mid-evening, it's sort of a happy hour type thing. That'd be fun.
Blues duo. That's an interesting concept.
And then the other thing we're looking at, and again, I don't think this has been announced yet, but hoping that this does get to happen. Metro Council here in Louisville is looking at doing a little event with Dress for Success to raise awareness for that group, which is doing a lot of great things in the community, and have some council members here so that folks can come and do a meet and greet with some of their Louisville Metro Council members as well.
Excellent.
And that may be in August, so we'll have more information on that as that comes together.
I'll make sure to pass the information along to anyone that I can get their attention for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Dominique, you've been very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. If I have any follow-up questions, I'll be in touch.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
You have